Great. Good morning, everybody. My name is Frankie Olivo. This is another week of Sports Talk. Excited for today's show. We have with us a world powerlifting champion, Miss Leann Ramirez. Super excited to have her in our presence. Before that, I'd like to speak a little bit about what's going on with BISD. We just got word that Gilbert Leal, the athletic director for the district, announced that BISD will resume with fall sports starting in October the 5th. Games will be in effect. So super excited about that. There is the issues about the COVID that we're currently dealing with, but we hope that each and every safety measures is taken regarding these issues. So again, sports is set to go back. I understand there will only be 6 or 7 games that will be played during this season. So we do anticipate the seniors having their senior year being played out. We hope that again that everyone is safe and that every safety measure is taken during these times. Also, would like to showcase some the talent at BISD. The Rivera Raiders will be led this year by Andres Perez, the quarterback from Brownsville, Rivera. The players to watch for Rivera are Ramiro Vega, Mr. Perez. Ramiro Vega had 1,000 yards rushing with 10 touchdowns. Andres Perez threw for 1,000 yards with 6 touchdowns. Also, Isaac Reina, a wide receiver who's 6'5", 180 pounds. Marcus Nash, an offensive tackle. So again, Rivera Raiders looking for a bounce back year, being led by Coach Beto Leal. The Hanna Eagles will be depending on their defense. They have Humberto Garcia as their defensive tackle, Diego Escobar as their free safety, Hector Barron being a linebacker, being joined by John Rios, and their running back, Brandon Robles. So we expect a great season from Coach Guess and the Hanna Eagles, wishing our BISD schools a very successful 2020 football year. Also, shouts out to the lady volleyball teams out there and the cross-country teams. We hope to have a safe and fun year. I know it's going to be a challenging year, but we hope that everybody has fun, is safe, and more than anything, make it memorable. Now to our featured story. Again, we have the pleasure of having a world powerlifting champion among us. Her name is Leann Ramirez. Good morning, Miss Leann Ramirez. How are you doing, ma'am?
Good morning. I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Again, thank you so much for accepting our invitation. With all this going on, I wanted to feature individuals within our community that deserve to be recognized. So first and foremost, ma'am, please introduce yourself to our community.
So, hi everyone. I'm Leann Ramirez. Like Frankie had said earlier, I go to UTSA. I'm a UTSA powerlifter, and I'm also on Team USA and won 2 world titles and 3 national titles. And
now,
yeah,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's about it.
What got you into powerlifting? What drove you? What piqued your interest?
Well, I mean, I never really had it out to be like, oh, I'm specifically going to be a powerlifter. I actually was in love with softball my whole life. So I played it since I was 5 years old up until high school. And that's when the high school powerlifting coach, she reached out to me and she's like, hey, I think you'd be a really good asset to the team. Would you mind trying out? And I said, yeah, sure. It would get me stronger for, softball. And as soon as I went to the first practice, I just fell in love with it. And I didn't really pay too much attention to softball anymore because I found something that I love to do. I was happy every day going in and coming out. I wanted to be there. There was never a day where I was like, oh, I have to go to powerlifting practice. It was always like, I'm going to powerlifting practice today. I'm grateful I get to be here. I want to be here. Let's get ready to work.
When did you know? And what year was this? What grade were you in when you started powerlifting? And when did you know that, hey, I have something here and I could possibly pursue this after high school?
Well, I first got into powerlifting my freshman year of high school. So I think that was around 2014, 2015. And I was a freshman and I got on the varsity team, and I wasn't too confident in myself as a powerlifter. I enjoyed it. I knew I was decent at it. I knew that, if I work hard for something, I can always achieve anything I put my mind to. So, as the years went on, I got another medal, first place, another medal, first place. And then, once in a while, third place, or sometimes not even place at all, because every athlete doesn't have the best days all the time. So I saw that, I think I have something special whenever I was in like my junior, senior year of high school. And I said, hey, I want to go to nationals. I want to do something more than just high school powerlifting. I want to, go for my goals in powerlifting and get on Team USA. So the first step would be to go to nationals. And I did that my senior year of high school, which was in 2018.
Every sport has something to deal with. What is the mental preparation for powerlifting? Is it different compared to football? How do you prepare mentally to train? Because I can only imagine the rigorous training that you go through. But also, Leann, talk to us about the dieting, because I'm sure training is probably 40%, 30% of this whole of the game. Talk to us about a training, what your training consists like, what your diet consists of, and just your mental preparation of preparing for these challenges.
So the mental aspect of it is you have to be mentally strong, if I'm being honest. Yeah, more than physically strong, really. I personally never played football, so I can't say like I know what their mentality is going into the game. I know that they get really pumped up. I had friends that were in football and they loved playing for it. That's, their dream was to become an NFL player, go for it. But I personally don't know how they feel. But me as a powerlifter, as an athlete, training every day in and out of the gym, sometimes I spend more than 4 hours in the gym, or sometimes, I have to skip. Like I went to go train on my birthday. I go train on Valentine's Day, on Christmas. Like I put work every single day into the gym, and it's something that I love. It's something that I'm passionate about. So some days they're not going to feel so great. And some days, you're just kind of like, why does it feel like this? Why do I, why is the weight not moving the way I want it to? And you just have to take a step back and realize this is a part of the process. You have to trust the process, and you have to work through it. To become stronger, to become a better athlete, a better person. I also think it really builds your character, going through those mental challenges. You see like what you can overcome. My diet regimen, it's different from when it's outside of the season to when it's inside of the season. Powerlifting is kind of like a year-round sport. You can't just, I'm going to do it 2 months before a meet, because you have to go through a building phase and a strength phase, a peaking cycle. And it's a process. And I think I do very well on my dieting for the most part. When I'm in competition, leading up to a meet, I eat really, really clean, especially 2 months prior. I don't really eat anything terrible. I usually sit about like 10 pounds over my weight class throughout the year. And then I drop the weight about 4 months before I actually compete. So I usually eat about 6 meals a day when I'm training for a meet. But right now, since I'm not as active, since I'm not, I do still work out, but I'm not moving around. Like I'm not climbing the stairs at campus. I do have to change my diet, because you're not burning as many calories during the day. So you have to watch out for a bunch of different factors that, play a part into that.
What is it that motivates you? Where do you find that drive to keep at this? Because I'm sure it's a rigorous sport. It's a mental challenge. It's not easy training. It's not easy. I could attest to this. It's not easy being on a strict diet. So where do you find this motivation in you to be persistent in obtaining your goals?
So I really look towards my parents, my mom and my dad. Everything that they do, they achieve, and they go beyond what they set for themselves. I see them, my dad being a coach and my mom being a principal, they set goals for themselves, and they surpass every single goal that they have for themselves. So seeing them, they're amazing role models to me. They always push me to do anything I want to do, any dream I have. They always say, what, go for it. What's the worst that can happen? No dream is ever too small. So me knowing what they have to go through to reach their goals, I see it. I know that it's not always going to be easy. I know that there's going to be, bumps in the road, hiccups and stuff like that. So you kind of have to work through them. I also feel, since high school, there's been people that have told me, you can't do this, you can't do that. And I have personally just had that inner drive in myself to want to be better, whether it be in academics, in powerlifting, as a person overall. I want to become somebody that's not only better for myself, but better for the community. And I can help other people by not only like becoming a better powerlifter, it also molds me into a better person.
You spoke about your parents, and I'm sure they're your biggest supporters. Your father, if I'm not mistaken, is a powerlifting coach. He's a powerlifting. He was a powerlifting coach. Tell us your relationship with your parents, because as every athlete knows, it is very important for parents to be part of their child's lives, not just in athletics, but academically. Him having that background in powerlifting, what's his advice to you? Is he harder on you? How does he approach you? Do you see a difference between him being your daughter and him being your coach? How does that work?
So my dad was previously the powerlifting coach for Lopez High School before he moved to Rivera, and not so much that he was harder on me, but again, he always pushed me to do, he wanted me to get first every single time. He wanted to push me to do the best I could. And just like he did with every single athlete, he pushed them to be the best person, the best athlete that they can be. My father treats every single athlete, not just as, you're an athlete for Rivera High School, you're an athlete for Lopez High School, or any high school or any organization, but you're also a person as well. So you have to meet those mental aspects before you can expect so much from a person. So my father, my mother, they know that, it's a lot of mental strength that goes into powerlifting, and you have to be mentally prepared. You have to want to be there. And he just motivates me. He talks to me about, his athletes and how I relate to them, or vice versa. He talks to me about his own experiences when he was in high school, when he played college ball. Like he relates to me very much so, since like we're kind of in the same area of sports and stuff like that. He has a very much of a drive to be the best coach that he can be as well. So it really motivates me too. And that's really what pushes me, seeing him that, he's being the best coach that he can be. Why can't I be the best athlete that I can be? The most coachable athlete that I can be.
That's awesome. What have you, in your career so far, what is the biggest challenges that you have faced, either personal or being an athlete?
So like, would that be injury wise or just like mental aspect?
Yeah. A little bit of everything.
So injury wise, I've overcome so many injuries. Just being an athlete, it's bound to happen. There's bound to be injuries. There's bound to be bumps in the road. Like I said earlier, I'm currently going through an injury right now. So that's kind of frustrating, but You know, it's part of the process. You have to recover. You have to listen to your body. You have to know, you know, okay, I'm going to push myself to the limit, but I'm not going to push it to where I get injured. Or, you know, just like I said, sometimes injuries just happen like really fast and you don't expect them. So I've actually, when I was in high school, I partially tore the UCL in my arm, and I was in wrestling. So that's how it happened. I landed wrong. So wrestling is also during powerlifting season. So I kind of just like sped through the recovery. I was back safely as soon as I could, and I just competed in a brace. Everyone was like looking at me all weird, like, what the heck? But, you know, I'm just so grateful that I got to compete because it's something really that I enjoy, and I don't think I could ever give up powerlifting. The mental aspect is it's a challenge, really. Going to compete every single meet. Like, I've done this for over like 7 years, and I still get nervous. I still, right before I get on the platform, I still, you know, start freaking out. Or, you know, if I miss a lift, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, you know, and my coaches are there to calm me down. My coaches are there to remind me, hey, you've been doing this for 7, 8 years. You got this. You know, you've done so many reps, so many different accessories to strengthen the small, fine muscles in your shoulders, in your knees, in your, you know, wrists, everything. You've done so much work in and out of the gym, and you have, you know, 9 lifts. You have 9 lifts to show them that how much you've been working. So again, I still get nervous. I can't stress that enough. I don't think it'll ever go away from me because I just get too excited to showcase, you know, I've been working all year round. Here's my meet, you know, here's what I'm capable of. And I want to show everyone, you know, this is why I work so hard, because I want to be the best athlete that I can be.
Awesome. And again, we have a world powerlifting champion from Leann Ramirez. Leann, where have you competed throughout the world? And tell us your experiences of competing with the very best that the world has to offer.
So in the nation I've competed, I can't even name some of the places I've been. Honestly, it's just off the top of my head. Last year at Collegiate Nationals, I went to Ohio State. I know I've competed in Washington. We were supposed to go to Penn State this year, but we didn't end up going just due to COVID. We're planning on going to Louisiana next year. I really can't name the places I've been in the U.S. I've competed in multiple different states. You know, winning national titles. Oh, Chicago as well. Yes, I remember that one. But in the world, I've competed in South Africa and I've competed in Canada, and both of those I've came out with first place titles. So it's really, I don't know, it's the experience itself is just completely different than when you compete here at home. You know, the flight, 20-something hour flight you have to travel in between like 2 different people, or it takes a toll on how you compete. You know, you travel halfway across the world, you know, your body's not going to be reacting the same as it would if you were just waking up out of bed saying, hey, I'm going to go to the gym and lift. So you have to take that into consideration when you're training, when you're prepping, when you're dieting as well. So it really does play a big role in that. My experience over there was amazing. Not only when I go on those experiences, like when I go compete in other countries, I want to go for the experience as well, not just for the competition. So we do get to go, you know, explore the cities and stuff like that. When I was in South Africa, I got to touch some cheetahs and some lions and stuff like that. So that was really amazing. And while I was over there, on the actual platform, it feels just like another day for me. I try to keep it, you know, like as, hey, you've done this before, you're going to do it again. Try not to stress as much. But again, like I said earlier, I get nervous for every single meet. Competing against the best in the world is an honor. You meet so many people, you meet so many friends from other countries. And I'm so glad that the communication barrier isn't as bad as I thought. A lot of other countries speak English as well, or, you know, they try to communicate in different ways. So you get to understand how they train, how they work, how they set up, what their methods of training are, and you get to like switch and swap different things. So that's really amazing to get from their aspect of lifters that are all over the world. And when I went to Canada, it was a little bit closer, not as long as a flight, so it didn't take so much toll and stress on my body as the one in South Africa did. So of course, it's still, I still had to rest before I got there. But it was an amazing experience. I got to compete against a girl from Germany, a girl from Sweden, and then those were like the girls I was going head to head with. So I was first. The second place was the girl from Sweden, and then the third place was a girl from Germany. But there's countries from all over the world, like Lithuania, South Africa, Canada, Japan. It's amazing that you get to interact with different people and see what their mindset, what drives them to be a world-class athlete.
Your uncle wants to say a few words. Any words for your uncle?
For my Uncle Brian, he's actually a healthcare worker, so I'm so happy that he can help our community as well. I'm super happy that COVID plays a big role, so he plays a big role in getting us back healthy. So I'm super happy that he can do that for us. Also, I love you too. I love you, Uncle Brian.
Thank you, Uncle Brian, for watching. Regarding your experiences competing at the world stage, what have you seen has been the difference? And I don't want to make it sound weird, but is nationals kind of easy to you compared to world, or the competition is just as fierce competing nationally as opposed to competing in South Africa and in Canada? Have you seen the difference? Have you seen ladies are more stronger at the world level compared to your experiences at the national level?
It honestly just depends. It depends on what competition I'm doing, because right now I'm a junior, but I do compete in the open. So the junior division is from ages 18 to, I believe, 24, 25, and I just turned 20, it's 20 years old to 24 years old, I believe. And I just turned 20, so I'm competing with the juniors, and it's awesome. Like, I compete with them. It's very fierce, like you said, but in the open, that's a whole different level. So if I'm competing nationally in the open, I want to be number one. That means like against any age. So there's this amazing athlete that I look up to. Her name's Natalie Hansen, and that's one of my biggest goals, is to beat her, to come out on top. But we were supposed to, go to Open Nationals a couple months back, but due to COVID, we couldn't, just because they canceled it, flight restrictions and stuff like that. So she's a very fierce competitor. I've seen people, that are amazing athletes, amazing role models that I look up to, looked up to a couple years back, and now I'm on the same level as them. So it's really amazing. At Worlds, the world class level, like at that level, it's just, they're very fierce as well. But I feel, you've made it this far. This is the best of the best, and you're gonna battle it out. So it's not so much that it's more difficult, but there's just a different mindset, I feel.
Awesome. You were a recipient of the Jason Garcia Memorial Scholarship. And again, we had a story just last week of Mr. Jason Garcia and this great organization that his friends and family did in his honor. And one of the main reasons why we invited you, Leann, was because we want our community to know the amazing talent that we have, not only in San Benito, but more importantly in the Rio Grande Valley. And last week's story, we covered Jason Garcia's Memorial Scholarship and how he continues to give back to our community, even though Mr. Garcia is not here with us today. And this is you, Miss Ramirez, along with Ms. Vallejo, if I'm not mistaken, Amanda Vallejo, who were recipients of the Jason Garcia Memorial Scholarship. My question to you is, how important is it for our community to encourage and motivate our athletes moving forward so they can pursue their goals? And also, if you could tell me about what it meant to you to be a recipient of Mr. Jason Garcia's scholarship a few years back.
To be a recipient of the scholarship, I'm going to go ahead and start with that because it's a really big honor. I know how much of an athlete he was. I know that, you know, he played through torn meniscus. You know, he wanted to be that better athlete. He wanted to be, you know, better for not only himself, but for his team. So that's kind of the athlete I strive to be. So I look up to him very much so. It's crazy that, you know, humans can go through all that and you can persevere through any obstacle that you come through. So yeah, can you repeat the other question for me?
Sure. How important is it for athletes to know that they are people out in the community that are rooting for you, that are vouching for you, and encouraging you to pursue your goals? What does that mean to an athlete in your situation?
In my situation, I feel people on the outside, you know, my family, my friends, my community, they have always supported me. I've gotten, you know, sometimes when I go somewhere, they're like, oh yeah, you're the girl that competes with Team USA. And it honestly feels so amazing to know that my hard work and dedication gets recognized. It's really important to athletes to know that, you know, hey, you're not doing this for just you, you're doing it for your community. So you can get, you know, your name, the community's name on the map, or, you know, stuff like that. So it's really important that, you know, parents, teachers, coaches, family members support their athletes because, you know, it's not always just about, oh, they go train, they go work out and stuff like that. It's also a mental aspect. And sometimes, you know, it's kind of hard to be motivated all the time. You know, you have to have that drive inside of you to want to be there, to want to do it. But sometimes it can get difficult because some days are not always going to be your best days. So like I said, it's really important that they have your back to remind you that, hey, it's part of the process. You got this. You can achieve anything you put your mind to.
You had previously spoken about your uncle Brian and how he's helping out with our community with this COVID crisis that we're dealing with. Talk to us about your experience as a student athlete at UTSA, and if you'd like to share any you know, has COVID touched close to home in your experience?
So yeah, COVID actually came really close to my home and affected my father. It was a crazy experience for him. I can't even begin to imagine half of the stuff he went through. You know, he told me, but I can't imagine to know how he felt, or, you know, it's scary. And I know that you have to be mentally strong again to go through stuff like that. He was in the hospital for about 26, 28 days. He was on a ventilator, and, you know, the outlook for people that are on a ventilator is, you know, 80% that they don't come off the ventilator. So we're just praying every single day that he gets better, that, you know, he overcomes this, that, you know, the angels protect him. And they did. And now he got off the ventilator, he got into rehab, and he's back home now. I'm so grateful and blessed to have my dad here still, because you never know when it's your time. I was just so nervous I don't even have words for it, because I was so nervous going through that whole process, you know, wondering, just sitting there feeling hopeless because I couldn't do anything. So that's why it's really important to have really good healthcare workers, just like my uncle, that cares about their patients, that is there to provide the best care possible for each patient, because that the patient isn't just a patient. It's somebody's dad, it's somebody's brother, it's somebody's, you know, sister, anything. And it's important to get them back home safe. But again, going through all that, I realized how mentally and physically strong my dad is. He is the strongest person I know, stronger than me, stronger than, you know, anybody that I know, because if he can overcome that, then anybody can overcome anything.
We previously opened up today's show talking about how BISD is going to have fall sports starting October the 5th. With your experience at UTSA, Do you think that's the right thing for us to do? Do you think, in your personal opinion, are we out of the woodworks regarding this COVID crisis? And do you think it's okay and safe for our athletes to compete starting October the 5th?
So as an athlete of UTSA, we did have to halt, our competitions. We are not competing. We are not traveling anytime soon until the 6 feet apart rule is lifted. So, it's very important to us. Sports are a big role in our lives. It's a big role in my life. I do it every single day. I train every single day. So I do understand how high school athletes feel. That's something that they dream of doing. That's something that, hey, like I want to go to college to play football. I want to go to college to play volleyball or softball, golf. I do understand that, but at the same time, your health is way more important than stepping onto the field, stepping onto the platform. Because once you get sick, it affects everyone differently. But let's say, it affects your friend. You don't taste anything. You don't smell anything. Good for them. But let's say it affects you the way it affected my father. You don't come out always being 100% again. So I think, it's a little bit too eager to let the students play again starting October, because there's a bunch of different aspects that go into it. There was already a first wave, second wave, there could be a third, and it's just the numbers could spike at any time. So I personally don't think, especially with close contact sports, you're not just playing on the field, but you huddle together, you're every day in and out. You don't know who they see. You don't know who's in their homes or who they hang out with. So that could end really badly.
Miss Sandy Ruiz, congrats, Leann. You are a role model for what one can accomplish through hard work and dedication. I agree. I second that, Sandy. Leann is a role model, and powerlifting is not easy. It is a mental challenge. But more than anything, it's you have to be disciplined. You can't be eating whatever you want. You have to make sure that you're on a strict regimen and a strict diet. So congrats to you. Leann, where do you see yourself in 10 years?
In 10 years, I see myself graduating my graduate program. I see myself, getting more experience for my dream. My biggest dream is to become a physical therapist so that I can, help people, play a big role in their life on recovering, whether it be athletes or everyday people, recovering to be the best, to have the best quality of life that they can have. So that's one of my biggest dreams, to have. In the powerlifting aspect, I still see myself competing. I still see myself getting out on the platform. I don't think it's something that I could ever quit. I'm just gonna keep going till I can't anymore. I love it so much. I don't think I could ever stop doing it just because getting a little bit older. I enjoy it way too much. I enjoy going to the gym. I enjoy seeing my powerlifting friends. I enjoy the competitions the most. So I do see myself winning a couple more titles, a couple more world titles, hopefully, setting a couple more records too.
Awesome. As a world champion in powerlifting, what's your message to our student athletes in the Rio Grande Valley who want to pursue an athletic career after high school? What's your message to them?
My message to them would be go for it. No dream is ever too small. People will tell you, people will try to discourage you from going forward with your dreams, or, say you're not capable of that. You can't do that. That's not practical. Nobody ever got to their goal for being practical. Nobody ever got to their goal for being regular and mediocre. Nobody ever became great for being just average. So go for what you want, strive for what you want. You can always, like I said, no dream is ever too small or too big. I look at like Michael Jordan's story. He was kicked off his high school basketball team, and now look at him. You can overcome anything. Whatever you set your mind to, you can do it. As long as you're determined, you have that drive, you remind yourself why you're doing it. So just keep reminding yourself, I want to be better. This is my goal. and I'm gonna get it no matter what.
Well, Miss Leann, thank you so much, ma'am, for accepting our invitation to come and speak with us. I think it's very important for us as a community to recognize individuals who are doing amazing things. And Miss Sandy Ruiz said it best. You are a role model. We want you to know that not only your family, your parents, and your family is rooting for you, but Sports Talk, the city of Brownsville, and more importantly, the city of San Benito is wishing you nothing but the best. We know that you are bound to have great things coming to your life, ma'am. Maybe someday in the very near future, when you start training again, when you start competing again, you could come back and share your experience with us throughout your journey, ma'am.
Thank you. Yeah, I definitely would love to come back once we start, training again. Once we start getting back into competing, I would love to come back and share, my experiences with that.
Rocco has a question for you, Miss Leann. San Benito is known for so much pride within that community. How much did you enjoy your experience?
I agree. San Benito has so much pride. My high school experience, I always had people supporting me. All my friends, all my teachers, all my coaches. Everyone's so prideful. Everyone goes to the football games or goes to softball games, and the stands are always filled to the max. So my high school recognized me all the time for winning X, Y, and Z titles. I can't even name how many titles. They always congratulated me and reminded me, you're an amazing student, you're an amazing athlete, keep up the good work. So the experience was amazing.
Got a message here from the number one fan. Love you, Leann. We are proud of you.
Love you, Mom.
Once again, thank you so much, Leann, for your time. We look forward to hearing from you and your experiences down the road. We know that you are bound for greatness, ma'am. So thank you so much for your time, and let us know how your life ends in a few months from now.
Awesome, I will. Thank you so much for having me.
It's my pleasure, ma'am. Have a good day.
Thank you. You too.
Awesome story to cover. Leann Ramirez, San Benito's very own world powerlifting champion, now at UTSA. So great story. Now, very quickly, we do have Sunday football coming up, and we have our very own Dario Olivo. How's it going, Dario?
What's up, Frank? I hope everyone's having a blessed Sunday. Thank God football's back, right?
Man, I've been waiting for this everybody's been waiting for this for the longest time. Very quickly, the Clippers play today during at 12 right now. They are favored to win by 8.5. The Clippers have a 3-2 lead in this series. Dario, what's your thoughts? Do you think the Nuggets will force a game 7?
Now, yeah. Right now, Frankie, the Clippers just don't look like they want it more than the Nuggets. The Clippers had a 15-point lead almost halfway into the third quarter, and the Nuggets still had a run and came back and won that game. Paul George is averaging less than 21 points this series, which is, if you're a superstar, you got to be putting up 28, 29, If you're the face of the franchise with Kawhi Leonard, it just looks like the Nuggets want it way more than the Clippers, and Doc Rivers has got to do something where the Clippers are they're a better team than the Nuggets. They're not playing with the same heart that the Nuggets are.
Our friend Dan, I thought the Lakers were going to lose the series. No, they're going to lose the next series, Dan, against the Clippers. That's what I stated. Just messing with you. Hey, Mary Lou, how's it going? So again, you have the Clippers closing it out. Is that right?
Yeah, I have the Clippers probably blowing it out today. We'll see what happens, but they got to play some good basketball.
I will dare say that the Nuggets will pull it off today in a very close game. I do see Murray stepping it up, leading his team to victory. I don't think he's going to score another 50, but I do see him getting the win for the Nuggets, forcing a game 7. The Lakers yesterday, our friend Dan reminded us, the Lakers yesterday closed out the Rockets. It's been 2 or 3 consecutive years that the Rockets haven't been able to get past that hump. James Harden, again, was a no-show during this series. Westbrook as well did not play up to his expectations. What do you see on the Lakers, Darío, moving forward? Do you think they're going to get over the hump and get back to the finals this year, or do you think the Clippers or the Nuggets will give them a run?
The Lakers are a very good team. You know, say what you want about LeBron, AD. We'll see if the Clippers. The thing about the Lakers right now, they might not even be the best team in LA right now. We'll see what the Nuggets can do and squeeze a Game 7. Anything could happen Game 7, you know. But if the Clippers do win this series and you know, Kawhi Leonard and Paul George show up, I think the Lakers are gonna have a real tough time. The Clippers really don't have a rim protector. They're not big on the glass. Lakers are, you know, they got a lot of centers, a bunch of depth, and LeBron James looks so fast right now. I think that little bit of break they got him just re-energized them completely. I don't know if you remember in 2000, I think it was 2012 when the NBA had a lockout. Then they didn't play for 2-3 months. LeBron James just came out 110 miles per hour. He was a step ahead of everyone, and that it kind of reminded me. LeBron James kind of looks the same right now. Where just that little bit of rest just gave him that edge over anyone that's guarding him.
So you think he's unstoppable? He's gonna prevail and take his team all the way to the top?
I really do think so. I mean, say what you want, but LeBron didn't make the playoffs last season, and that was the first time in like 8-9 seasons that he didn't make the playoffs. And I think that gave him a little chip on the shoulder that told him, like, yo, even though you have this great roster, even though you have all this, you still got to play good ball, you know.
Mary Lou, today also was the Boston Marathon virtual experience race. Bronzo had a runner. Nice. I didn't know about that. If you'd like to message me or post it here on the show, that's an awesome experience for one of our very own to be to take part in the Boston Marathon. We did see how they had tragedy a couple years ago. So just for individuals to be part of it, even though it's virtual, I think it's an amazing experience to keep on, with this endeavor. It's a great feat. Darío, Boston Raptors, who wins and why?
Well, the Celtics already closed out that series, bro.
I'm sorry. The Heat and Boston. I'm sorry, Miami and Boston. I apologize. Miami and Boston. Who wins and why?
Oh man, it's gonna be a good series. I think the Miami has such good young talent right now. Hero, making some clutch shots. They have Goran Dragic, who's a veteran point guard. You know, they got Jimmy Butler, they got Jay Crowder stepping up big, but the Celtics behind Jason Tatum, and they don't really have a second and third guy, but anybody can step up and play a big night, which I think will be the key for the Celtics to win that series.
Mary Lou, very quickly, if you have a picture of her running or being part of this marathon, let me know. I'd like to showcase Miss Peña. That's an awesome accomplishment that she ran her 4th Boston Marathon. Let me know, Mary Lou. I would love to showcase and highlight BISD's very own. Thank you so much. When is UTSA football segment? Hey, Darío, yesterday UTSA barely got past the San Marcos Bobcats. Come on, Eric. I thought you said it was going to be a blowout, my friend. Rocco, Darío, just say Miami. Okay, so Darío, you have Boston taking that series?
I do have Boston, yes, sir.
So you have Boston and the Lakers in the finals.
Boston, and if the Clippers win this series against the Nuggets, I got the Clippers. Clippers, Boston, but if Nuggets do slip it out there, I got Lakers, Boston.
Okay, nice. Well, I have the Clippers and the Heat. I like what Jimmy Butler's doing. He seems like the alpha in that team. He didn't thrive in sharing the workload with the Philadelphia 76ers. I love that he has that approach that it's all about me mentality, and I'm going to take my team to victory. It's going to come down to who outcoaches who. That is correct. Malone and Doc Rivers have a very important game for Game 6. Also with the Heat, Spoelstra. And what's the Brad Stevens?
Mm-hmm.
Brad Stevens. So that is going to be interesting. Why the Clippers? Kawhi, PG-13, Beverly, and I'm a big fan, Dario. I'm a big fan of Lou Williams. I'm a big fan of Lou Williams, 6-man for I don't know how many years. So they have a great starting 5, and they got a good rotating bench.
Rocco, just for the record, I got the Lakers winning the Western Conference Finals. If the so Lakers Boston. You want to jump on this? The Cowboys got prime time tonight, Frankie. I don't know if you know this. Talking about NBA.
They do. Let's go on with our picks. Let's go on with our picks for this week. Dario, you are correct. The Cowboys will be facing I was going to say the St. Louis Rams, the LA Rams, Sunday night primetime. Who do you got? The Cowboys are favored to win by 2.5.
I got the Cowboys. We'll see what happens. Both of the starting quarterbacks are entering their 5th year into the NFL. Dak has a better pass completion percentage, fewer interceptions, more touchdown, more passing yards. But other than that one run to the Super Bowl, the Goff and Sean McVay haven't done anything. They played poorly last season. The Rams did pick up Jalen Ramsey. They lost Todd Gurley. We'll see what the new head coach for Dallas can do. I like Dallas this year.
Nice. Let's go to let's start off the week. Seattle will be traveling to Atlanta, and Atlanta right now is a favorite to win by 1. It's kind of like a pick 'em. The over/under is 49.5. Who do you like and why?
I got Seattle. I have Seattle winning the game outright. The Falcons did finish last season 6-2 on a 6-2 run, so they're a little hot. They did pick up Todd Gurley as well. The Seahawks picked up Jamal Adams this offseason. The Seahawks, I have the Seahawks. If you remember, I have the Seahawks winning the NFC West. The last 2 seasons, the Seattle Seahawks won 11 games. Talk about that hump. They didn't need that little extra push, and they just signed Russell Wilson to that massive contract. I think that's going to give them that little boost where it shows that they have trust and leadership in their quarterback. So I got
Seattle in this game. I got Seattle beating the Falcons for this game. Easy game. Jets, Bills, Buffalo, favored to win by a touchdown. I like the Bills. Who do you like?
I like the Bills too, Frankie. We'll see what that quarterback can do. They don't score a lot of points. The Bills don't. So I think only 11 times last season they scored less than 20 points a game. Talk about offense with the Chiefs and it's an offensive game now. So many high-flying, home run shots, all these pre-snap motion, and Buffalo they don't allow a lot of points, but they don't score a lot of points either. They're going to struggle. We'll see what they do, but the Jets they're struggling right now. Their head coach Gacy and their Sam Darnold. I got Buffalo.
I like Buffalo too. For whatever reason, the Jets. I don't know if it starts at the top with their front office, but for whatever reason, they can never get it together. I like Sam Darnold as a player, but he doesn't have the tools around him needed to be able to be competitive. So again, I like the Bills winning easily this week. Next game, Bears and Lions. The Lions, wow, the Lions are favored to win by a field goal. Who wins, Dario?
Who wins? I got to go with the Bears. Say what you want about the Bears. They went outright and they said that they're going to have Mitchell Trubisky starting the season when you got a Super Bowl MVP, Nick Foles, as your backup. And the Bears, they're shaky. They're a shaky team. But the Lions, if I'm not mistaken, were the last ranked defense last year. So a lot can change, but the Detroit Lions just don't have, who's even the Lions quarterback, right? But say what you want about Trubisky. I don't think he's going to be the starting quarterback for long. I think Foles is going to take the job from Trubisky, but I think the Bears will edge it out today.
I like the Bears too. Next game, Packers and Vikings. Vikings is favored to win by a field goal.
I will take the Packers outright. I think the Packers are Aaron Rodgers said it himself that they're going under the radar right this year, and I couldn't agree more. The Packers, I think, with LaFleur, they showed what they can do. We know what Aaron Rodgers can do, right? They haven't done anything in a while, but I think the Packers will click on all cylinders this year if they stay healthy. The Vikings, they're a good team, but I don't think they're in the same division as the Packers, but I have the Packers winning this division.
I like the Packers today, so I'll take the Packers with the points. Dolphins and Patriots. I'm going to go out on a whim here, Darío. I will say that the Dolphins will cover the spread. I won't dare say that they'll take the victory, but I do have the Dolphins covering the spread. I like Fitzmagic. Say what you want about him, but he's a proven veteran, and I like the Parker, the wide receiver for the Dolphins. So I think that the Dolphins will cover the spread. So I like Dolphins +7.
That's a good bet, but Fitzmagic, he has a career record of like 55 wins, 83 losses. I mean, yeah, he got experience on the field, but he's not a winning quarterback. The Patriots have Cam Newton as their new with the blockbuster deal going to New England. I would like to see what Josh McDaniels and Bill Belichick got for the playbook, because that offensive playbook is going to change drastically from Tom Brady, who stays in the pocket, completes a lot of passes, to Cam Newton, they're going to have to be running some kind of run pass option. So we'll see what I got. The Patriots taking the line. I think it's going to be a blowout, the Patriots, but I'd like to see what they do with Cam Newton under center and what kind of playbook, strategy they got today.
Nice. Eagles and the Washington football team. Philadelphia is a favorite to win by a touchdown. I'll take the Eagles, and I'll take that spread. Eagles by 7.
I think it's I love the Cowboys, but I love the Eagles' chances to win this division this year. The Washington football team, they picked up Ron Rivera as their new head coach. I think he's going to bring a lot of stability to that whole organization. They're the football team now. They got rid of the Redskins. They just been a mess. They have their best defensive players not even showing up to practice last season. I think Rivera's gonna run a tighter ship than what it has, but still they're gonna struggle. The Eagles, I have Carson Wentz threw a franchise record 4,000 yards, 4,065 yards, something like that, passing yards. So even though they only won 8 or 9 games last season, the Eagles still look. And if they stay healthy, keep in mind last season they were playing with their starting receiver in the playoffs was a rookie that they drafted as a quarterback, and they had backup tight ends playing wideout because Alshon Jeffrey was injured. Everyone was injured. All the receivers were injured. So injuries are a part of the game. But if the Eagles can stay healthy, relatively healthy on the receiving core, I like them to win the division.
Eagles win the division. Ouch. Next game, Raiders Panthers. Wow, the Las Vegas Raiders are favored to win by 3. I got the Raiders winning this. Who do you got?
Tough pick. I think it's gonna go. I don't think those Raiders get Raiders 3 points. That's a tough one. I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna go to him and say Panthers. We'll see what the quarterback situation in Las Vegas right now. I don't think it's clicking. Gruden, they obviously showed that they're all in with Gruden, giving that 10-year contract. I don't think Carr can get it done. Panthers, they lost Cam Newton. They struggled defensively. They still have McCaffrey. So if they establish that run, it opens up so many avenues for passing, play action, run pass option. But I got the Panthers winning this game today. Colts
and Jags. I'll take the Jags. I'll take the points. I'll even buy the half point. So I got the Jags +8. But I have the Colts winning this game. Who do you got?
Colts winning this game, but the Jaguars will recover those points. I think it'll be closer, low scoring affair. The Colts, the Colts allow fans this year, but I think Jacksonville also allows fans. So just that little bit of we saw on Thursday how 17,000 people can make a stadium sound like 50,000 people. So these fans are going to be hyped up. Everybody wants to see football back. You know, without the preseason, these teams might come out shaky. We'll see. I got Jacksonville will cover the spread.
LA Chargers and the Bungles. The Chargers by 3. I'll take Chargers and I'll take the spread. Who do you got?
I think the Bengals for the last couple seasons have looked like garbage, terrible run organization. You know, they just don't look good. But they drafted Joe Burrow. I'm gonna go on a whim and say I believe in Joe Burrow. He's gonna have a decent rookie season. I got Bengals winning this season. The Chargers lost Phillip Rivers. Phillip Rivers wins against, you know, for his whole career at least. He could never get it down prime time in the playoffs. He wins against poorer teams, but when he plays a better defense, he struggles. We'll see what the Chargers can do, but I think the Bengals will get it done today.
Bucks and Saints. I will take Tim Brady. Tim Brady with the victory today. Tom Brady, Gronkowski. I'm not sure about Evans. I think he's listed as questionable, but I'll take Brady, Gronk over the Saints today.
The Bucks, just in this offseason alone, for the last 10 years, we know what happened with Tom Brady and the Patriots. Missed the playoff one time in 12 years, something like that, and Brady's out. For the last 10 years, like I said last week, the Patriots didn't even make an effort to give Tom Brady any weapons. So just in this offseason alone, the Buccaneers picked up Sean McCoy and Leonard Fournette, who, you know, both of them can catch the ball. That they can go out to run a couple routes, open up a whole other avenue of options. The Saints, I still think it's the Saints division though. Drew Brees broke a record the last 2 seasons with the completion percentage. Drew Brees is not he's a guy. Drew Brees is the kind of quarterback where it's death by 1,000 cuts. He'll take a 3-yard, 4-yard, 3-yard gain, completions. But instead of I'm going to throw out Aaron Rodgers there. Aaron Rodgers looks for that home run ball where Drew Brees will look just to move the chains, you know. And I still think that I think the Saints will edge it out today, but the Bucks look good, dude.
Cardinals, Niners. I'll take the Cardinals +7. I'll buy the half point.
Wow. Okay.
I like Fitzgerald and Hopkins along with Murray. They're gonna have a Drake, I think, is a running back as well. So I like their spread offense. So I'll take the Cardinals on the points.
I'm gonna take the 49ers. But speaking of Murray, the last 2 games, they played them twice. They're in the same division. Murray excels against the 49ers. I don't know if you remember, but the 49ers didn't get that. I think they didn't get that 1 seed last year because the Cardinals edged out a victory. So the division rivalry between the 2 teams makes Murray, you know, excel a little bit. He's completed like 75% of his passes, 6 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. But I like the 49ers. I don't think they're going to make another run for the Super Bowl this year. I don't think they're going to win their division. I got the Seahawks winning that division. But I'm going to take the 49ers today.
Monday night, Titans and Broncos. Tennessee favored to win by 3. I'll take the Titans winning this by a touchdown. Who wins?
Titans will win. The Broncos, John Elway is struggling, trying to find he's been trying to find a quarterback since how long, you know? They've probably had the most, you know, in and out quarterbacks than anybody in the league the last couple of years. The Titans picked up the defensive end Clowney, Jadeveon Clowney. He won't have a big impact, but he'll draw enough of the attention that he'll open up some other avenues. The Broncos lost Von Miller to a freak accident injury, and the Broncos, without that, I think that the Titans are just going to run the ball. They got Henry. Henry broke a record for how many yards in the regular season. Without Von Miller, I think they're just going to attack the run.
Dan has a question: Amari Cooper or Lockett in my fantasy? I had Lockett last year. he is their number one, in my opinion. So I like, as bad as it sounds, I like Lockett. Cooper is hurt from time to time, and I think he was going to get a lot of the attention. The Cowboys just picked up Lamb. So I'll dare say Lockett, man. But I had Cooper last year, and I had Lockett on my roster. Lockett was a home run for me when he was healthy. So I'll take Lockett on that.
I'll take Cooper. Cooper last year had 1,100, over 1,100 yards. With the pickup of CeeDee Lamb, I don't think we'll see it immediately. I think he'll kind of grow into that role of that Z receiver. But they have Gallup, Cooper, Lamb. We'll see what they can do, but I'll take Cooper over Lockett every week this season.
Last game, Steelers and the Giants. I'll take Steelers with a touchdown.
So will I. The Steelers are bringing in a superb defense, and now that they're getting Big Ben back, there's questions about his how he's gonna play. Coming off all these injuries and all this stuff. But Mike Tomlin, last season he said they've made a trade for a defensive player last season when Big Ben went out. Everybody said just count him out, and up until that last week, they were in that playoff hunt. So Mike Tomlin, without saying anything, he puts it where it's every year it's Super Bowl or bust. So and the Giants just, who's their quarterback right now? What is he define? So I got the Steelers take the point. I think it'll be a blowout tomorrow night.
Nice. Before we leave, Dario, I want to showcase. We got Brownsville's very own Kai Money. He scored a touchdown for the UT Longhorns. He was a quarterback at St. Joe. He ended up walking on to the UT program, made the team, and he scored a touchdown at last night's game against the UT El Paso Miners. And very quickly, the only one that I could remember from Brownsville suiting up was Coco Martinez. He was a running back in high school. He ended up walking on, and he ended up making the special teams, and he even dressed out. Coco Martinez dressed out for the UT Longhorns when they played the national title game against the Alabama Crimson Tide. So very quickly, I want to show the clip, guys, of K Money.
Right spot. There he is. Let's go!
No way! Yeah, replay those.
Two feet down.
So again, Kai Money from Brownsville, Texas. Brownsville, Texas, very own Kai Money with the UT Longhorns scored his first touchdown of the season on the first game. So again, congratulations, Kai. Wishing you nothing but the best success. I hope to attend a UT game down later in the season, hopefully when everything clears up. But again, Sports Talk is a great way for us to showcase how we did with Miss Leann Ramirez's story, to showcase the talent that we have here in Brownsville and how they continue on with their careers after high school and in life. Dario, any last words? Sunday football's already about to kick off, man. Any last words?
Last words. I hope everyone has a blessed Sunday. We'll see what the Cowboys can do tonight, prime time. We'll see what they can do, but that's it.
Well, thank you so much, Dario. Thank you to everybody.
Yes,
have a good Sunday. Can't wait to get the season started. It already did. Thank you so much, guys. You guys have a good day. See you next week. Brownsville Talk.